Welcome back to the channel. Let's get into this. The last of my key basic social skills tips. Optimally, you'll watch the first video on the stance of curiosity and how to think about successful socialization, and also the second video on applying mindfulness to social dynamics. If you haven't, I would recommend you go back and watch them. But even if you haven't, this video will work as a standalone. So here's the topic for the short video. How do I conceptualize getting to know someone in their world? If I'm willing to grant that people who are great at socializing are actually great at asking questions and learning about others, and I do think that is a good starting assumption, what the heck should I even be asking about? Hope to answer that question for you in a formulaic way today that you can apply. What are the domains of one's life that I might explore? WAF. WHAF. That's the acronym. Silly, I know, but it helps. At least it helps me. Seems to help my clients because you'll remember it. Models, acronyms, metaphors. I'm big on them. W stands for work, straightforward enough, and it's a good place to start. Might also include education and how they found themselves in their current work and how they feel about their work and what other future income related plans they might have. H stands for hobbies. What do you do when you're not working? A stands for art. What kind of music, movies, TV, books, even food do you consume and enjoy? So, art in a very broad sense, certainly not just going to a gallery. F stands for family, both the family you grew up with and the family you have now. Family of origin and secondary family is the language we use in psychotherapy. So think of those as being the four most accessible domains of someone else's world, which is to say, the domains that it's certainly permissible to talk about in first encounters. You can pivot between them and explore them thoroughly. Starting off with any one category is just a matter of asking the initial question in a way that you find comfortable. Here's a pretty good algorithm that's easy to use and sounds a lot less mundane than just, so what do you do? So what do you do when you're not? Dot, 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 fill in the blank. And simply fill in the blank with whatever the specific circumstances of your meeting happen to be. The more detailed you are, the cleverer it sounds. As an example, so what do you do when you're not shopping for eggs at Aldi's? What do you do when you're not crushing your bench press? What do you do when you're not browsing for cookbooks at Barnes and Noble? That's the idea. What's great about this also is they can choose where to take it. They might take it in the direction of work. They might take it in a different direction. They might tell you about a hobby or an interest. Ball is in their court. Follow-up questions might sound like, oh, cool. How did you get into that? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Somewhere in between. And genuinely shift back from trying to be clever at this point and just earnestly explore from that stance of curiosity that I covered in video 1. For the hobbies domain, it might sound like, so what are you into? Do you have any hobbies? What kind of trouble do you get up to when you're not working? Follow-ups would be, oh, interesting. Did you start playing volleyball in high school? Or you said you like to travel? Absolute favorite trip? Best part of it? I always like to ask about people's meals because I'm really into food. For art, it's the same basic formula. So what is everyone watching right now? Anything good? Any recommendations? Or, and I just used this one the other day, you seem like someone who's definitely into music. Who do you like? Worked perfectly. We had a long conversation about a shared interest and favorite concerts that we had respectively attended. Now, couple of points on this. Oh, family. I forgot about family. Don't forget about family. Family is important. Family, same thing. Things like, so where did you grow up? Any siblings? Or you mentioned you have a son that just graduated from college. What did he study? Does he have any graduate plans? And oftentimes I'll take note of little things when someone mentions something offhandedly about a son that just graduated from college or something. I'll kind of put it in my back pocket for when I need something to bring back up in the future, because you don't want to interrupt someone's flow, but you also want to have things that you can go to when the conversation begins to lag. So, a couple of points on this front. First point, yes, sometimes these initial questions can feel a little awkward, but do you know what's more awkward? You know what's more awkward. Sitting there awkwardly in silence is more awkward. So, go for it. Everyone will be happy that you did. Think back to the last awkward silence you had at a party or a meeting. Now, remember the relief when someone just went ahead and asked a question that got everything moving again. Weren't you grateful? You were. Did you negatively judge them even if the question was awkward? You didn't. You probably even admired their social resolve, and you can be that guy. You can be that guy. Second point, don't just completely haphazardly ask questions. When you have a conversation, you're always trying to locate and steer the conversation toward common interests. Common interests are where you will both be enthusiastic and the conversation will be most enjoyable. So when you discover them, the whole idea is to spend some time there, not just immediately move on to another domain. So, to reiterate the main ideas across these 3 videos, to socialize more successfully, abandon, for now, the approach of trying to constantly find the next clever thing that you might say. That gets really redundant and frustrating, actually, if you do it too much, and instead simply be absorbed in the other human being that you're trying to connect with. Be interested in what they are trying to tell you about themselves in their inner and outer worlds. Ask them the questions that will assist them in this endeavor. People love that. They will want to spend more time with you if you do that. Use mindfulness to stay out of your head by focusing on the detail in front of you, and be ready to pivot between the 4 big domains of conversation when a silence threatens: work, hobbies, art, family. WAF. The acronym will help. Practice this approach with people that you're already close with, and you can even practice by listening to a podcast. Pause it. What's the next question I would ask if I were to truly embrace an interest in this other person? You'll get better at it and you'll be on your way. Also, what do you have for icebreakers, conversation starters? Any good ideas? Put them in the comments. I'd love to hear about them. I'm always trying to learn more and get better ideas and insights. That's all I have for you today. All the best, and I will see you in the next one.